Welcome to Istanbul, everybody. Door's not closed.
I'm still saying there's a lot of space in here. We could go bigger. This looks like the sort of thing that in the early days of space exploration, they would drop it on the moon, and that's what the astronauts would drive around the moon
rover, no? I've spent some time in Istanbul, and I've seen the driving.
Everyone is a rally driver.
Everyone is a rally driver.
Merhaba DMAX, ben Mehmet Berberoğlu. Hazır Mike ve Elvis Türkiye'ye gelmişken onlara Anadolu göstermeden göndermeyelim istedik. O yüzden bugün bütün Anadolu modellerine bakacağız, hikayelerini dinleyeceğiz. Fazla vakit kaybetmeden hemen programa başlayalım. Guys, welcome to Turkey.
Thank you very much. I love that introduction. Whatever you said, I think it was good.
Sounded great.
You agree?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, first time in Turkey or?
Oh no, I've been to Turkey before. I've been to Istanbul before. I came possibly 10 years ago to help launch Discovery DMAX, and Elvis has spent quite a bit of time here.
I've come many times for the Formula One race at the racetrack over the other side of the river, and loved the place. Apart from the traffic, which is awful.
Did you try the food yet?
Yes, we have plenty of Turkish food in England as well, back at home in the United Kingdom.
The kebab and...
The kebab, we live on it. It's part of the staple diet of the United Kingdom. Last night, we went for dinner here last night, and I ate like Henry VIII. It was food, and then food, and then food, and then food, and it was brilliant.
It's all good.
But guys, do you know about Anadolu? I mean, do you know the car? Do you know the history?
A little bit.
And
I'm learning more and more over the couple of days we've been here in Istanbul. Of course, it is the biggest car story from this part of the world.
It is, exactly.
I know a little lot.
Yeah?
Yes, because I've studied Anadolu in the past, because I'm a geek. And yes, I know a little bit about these cars, so much so that you brought us to this wonderful collection.
Yeah, exactly. So we are in a really nice collection. We are going to see all the Anadolu models because they have quite a bit. Let's start with the A1. So it was the first series production Turkish car ever.
Yes.
But very close connections to UK. So
we can see.
I mean, not only does it look like a reverse engineered Escort Mark 1,
correct.
Also like a little bit of Vauxhall Viva in there somewhere. But we do know it's running, we had the 1.2 litre engine from the Anglia on the very first ones. And then that went to the 1.3 engine, which is the Kent engine. Which is good. Plus it's got a 4-speed, 4 gearbox, rear axle. So there's a lot
of British engineering.
There's a lot of British. This is a very good British export.
Well, actually, it was. Actually, it was developed with Ralliant back in the day.
Yeah.
But then after the 1970s, it was all the parts were produced in Turkey.
Yeah.
So, but of course, it has a lot of UK gene.
You can see.
So this one was the A1. It's the first car. It's a single door, but it was the people's car.
How successful as a car was it when it was launched?
It ran from 1968 to 1989, and there were around 90,000 units produced.
Yeah.
So
it's not a big number.
And how many do you think are left today?
Oh, let's say
not many.
Yeah, not many. Nothing.
Which makes these even more special. Right?
The one thing that does surprise me about an Anadolu, and it's one of the things that I think would be exciting to work on, is the fact that it's fiberglass. It's still chassis, but it's fiberglass, and it bugs me because unlike the United Kingdom, where it's damp and wet all the time, and we build steel cars out of steel that rust, and we cope with that. You are in a country here that's blessed with sunshine, beautiful summers, so you don't really need to be tackling the rot that you get from a steel car. So why on earth
would you
do
that?
See it doing
fiberglass? It was, I think it's lighter, much lighter, and then the production costs. So I think it was a good idea to do it back in the day. So, let's check the engine, no?
Yeah, I'd like to see the engine. Yeah, it'd be nice.
Okay.
On this one, it might be open already.
Yeah.
No, you've got to pull the lever. That's just the way the body panels fit.
Yeah,
that is also British engineering, right there. So we will take the blame for that.
Now look at that, though. I mean, tiny little engine.
Yeah, it's a 1.2.
1.2.
This one
is a 1.2, yeah?
But you know what that says to me? A lot of space to put something much bigger and more exciting inside.
Yes, So this is straight out of a Ford Anglia.
Yeah.
This engine, which was the little Harry Potter car. If the audience want to know what a Ford Anglia is,
the one with the flying one.
The flying car. That's a Harry Potter car. Little 1.2, but 4-speed gearbox. Really good, little reliable engine. But then they very quickly moved. I do believe Anadolu went from this to the 1.3 engine, which was the Kent.
Yeah.
This is not a non-crossflow engine.
Yeah.
The Kent engine was a crossflow.
Actually, that one has the powerful one.
Yeah.
The 1.3
okay.
and also with some modifications as well.
Yeah.
Because that's the rally car.
Should we not be looking at a rally car?
Yeah.
Then?
Yeah,
It's
I think we
nicer.
should. No?
How
Right.
powerful are we talking? When you say the powerful one, what are we saying?
Let's say
This one's easier to open, look.
yeah, much easier.
90 horsepower.
Yeah, 90.
Yeah.
Around,
Look at
I
that
think.
there,
Yeah.
nice twin carb setup.
But what they've done here is they've moved the engine back and lower down, particularly for this rally car, so it lowers the centre of gravity. They've done a really good job.
I'm still saying there's a lot of space in here. We could go bigger. We could put something even bigger in this.
He wants to just put turbos and things on everything he sees.
But do you think the carbon, the fiberglass is gonna, like, you know, it's gonna rip apart?
Rip apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was saying when I looked at these cars originally, I was thinking part of the challenge of keeping an Anadol on the road, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for your Turkish audience out there and fans. If you have a crash in one of these, like if you destroy this corner, you can't go to the Anadol shop and buy one.
You can't.
So you have to either make it by hand,
Yeah, or a donor
find
car.
A donor car.
Donor
You have to
car,
find
yeah.
a car and cut the piece out, and
Exactly.
that's going to be a challenge in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the front suspension was all kind of Triumph kit, I think, wasn't it?
TR4A, yeah.
So the chassis is a steel chassis with a Triumph front end bolted on it, Ford bits in the middle. So a lot of the bits, I guess, were at least to some extent available.
I think engineering-wise, you can still buy most of this.
Most of this,
yes. The
yeah.
bit that you can't buy is this.
That's the only
Yeah.
problem.
The body.
But you can super glue that back together.
Yeah. And then they had quite a different selection of cars. Though. They had pickups, station wagons.
Yeah.
But the most interesting one is over there. It was commissioned by the Turkish army to replace American Jeep.
The
you know.
buggy?
Yeah, the buggy.
I love
Yeah.
the buggy.
Amazing.
Yeah. It was developed for the army, but it was never commissioned actually. Well, it was developed for them, this one. It's an interesting car again.
This looks like the sort of thing that in the early days of space exploration, they would drop it on the moon, and that's what the astronauts would drive around the moon on.
rover,
you know?
no?
I mean, I'm not being funny, but I would love this today, this car. I'd love to drive this around. I think it looks really cool.
I think so too.
And I think for the Turkish army to be driving around in one of these, they would have looked really good.
I think they would look quite
They would
cool,
be the
no?
coolest army on the planet.
And even
driving around in one of these.
1960s, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, come on, it would have looked amazing.
I mean, it's got that classic 60s setup where the seat is over here, the pedals are over there, the steering wheel
Everything's
is over
offset,
here.
like, you know.
Yeah, it's like the passenger can do the steering wheel, the driver can do the brakes and the accelerator.
But what a thing, I would love this. I would absolutely, this would be amazing.
They produced only 203 of these.
I only want one.
Yeah,
One
exactly.
out of
There is
203.
one over there. Let's, you know, let's go check it out. I mean, and yeah, it's a funny little car, but
It is a funny
So
little car.
fundamentally, are you saying that this is the same as these cars, the A1 underneath?
exactly, it's A1 underneath. It was just cut.
Right.
Like
okay.
they cut the backside.
Yeah, because it's shorter.
Yeah, it's shorter.
yeah.
And the problem was, it wasn't a 4x4. It was a rear-wheel drive car.
Perfect.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah,
It sounds like fun, yeah.
Much fun, like in the desert or like, you know.
This was never made into mass production.
Only 200.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Anadol. You should have made this.
Yeah, they should have.
This could have been the equivalent of the Mini Moke. You know, this
Yeah,
would have
I
been.
know.
This would have sold.
Yeah.
I think into. You imagine countries like Spain, Portugal, hot countries where
Exactly.
this would have been perfect for those
Yeah,
territories.
I agree. I mean,
It's
it
so
was,
simple and basic, isn't it? Which is
Yeah,
what I
brilliant.
love about it.
again, it's all carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Not carbon fiber.
Carbon
like, you know,
fibre.
Carbon
Yeah.
fiber.
They wouldn't know what carbon fibre
yeah,
was.
exactly. Fiberglass.
That would have trebled the cost.
It would
Yeah.
have trebled the cost.
Yeah.
So this must be the sports car.
Exactly. That's the
yeah,
sports
the
car.
STC.
So the STC
STC
looks like a reverse engineered squished Capri.
It's a Capri, no? It looks
It
like
just
a
looks like a little
yeah.
Ford Capri. Yeah, look at that. So that's the bigger engine.
Yeah,
crossflow.
1.6.
Yeah. 1.6 crossflow Kent engine. 4-speed Ford gearbox and rear axle.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Fiberglass again.
And I think inside it's quite nice as well. I don't know.
It's
has
classic.
that- yeah, it's a classic.
It is
yeah.
actually quite cool.
Yeah, it's a very classic looking car inside.
It's not a bad interior, is it? It's quite a nice
really
interior
nice.
for the time of when it was produced.
So back in the day, if you owned particularly an ST, you was a young man,
Yeah.
had a good job in Istanbul, and you had an STC, was you like, Was you like the
Yeah, I
thing?
think so. Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
were?
I think so. Yeah.
So this is the equivalent of owning like a Porsche 911.
But I wouldn't go that far. That's something different.
Okay.
But, you know, it would be a nice.
Toyota Supra.
Yeah, more like
Toyota
it.
Supra.
It's
Back in
actually
the
quite.
day.
It's a sleek looking thing. The lines are good, isn't it? It's got no, no rain gutters. It's all very clean and tidy. I quite like the style of it.
I like the style. It's really good.
Yeah.
Is this bump on the door ready for a mirror?
I think I think so. No.
Yeah, it's a weird little, but it must be. It must be ready to
I
accept
guess.
the mirror.
Yeah, for the
It was
other
the
side.
optional passenger door mirror.
Yeah, for the luxury
It's
model.
very good.
Yeah,
What
nice.
a collection of cars. What a shame they don't make them still.
They have a lot of rallying, Turkish rallying heritage as well. I mean, they won the first Turkish rally championship that was done back in the day.
Yeah.
They did a Pekin-Paris, I think.
Well, in fact, if you look behind you,
Yeah, exactly.
this year's car was
Yeah.
one of these and did the Peking-Paris.
Yeah.
Would you like to drive this, by the way?
I would love to. You know, I love a sense of adventure, sense of challenge.
I mean, the fact that one of these can make it from Peking to Paris is a pretty impressive.
It's really impressive.
Tells you a lot about how good the car is.
And that's the A1, and that finished third out of 106 cars. Like they did
brilliant.
10 years ago, so it's durable.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I mean-
It does have something to do, not with the cars though, it's got something to do with the way that you Turkish guys drive cars, that maybe is why you come third and second and first, because I've spent some time in Istanbul, and I've seen the driving.
Everyone is a rally driver.
Everyone is a rally driver. Everyone wants to drive from one set of lights to the next set of lights as fast as they could possibly go. It doesn't matter what vehicle you're in.
Normally they're nose to tail with each other
Yeah,
doing 5
exactly.
miles an hour.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We face vehicles coming towards us at speed
True.
down narrow roads, thinking, "Oh, well, somebody's going to have to reverse." No, they will find a way past each other. If it means climbing up the wall, they will get past each other.
Out of chaos comes order.
So that's why it's not so much the
About the
cars
car.
are fast, the drivers are fast.
Yeah.
It's surprising because has there ever or not been, question for you, a Turkish Formula One driver?
Well, that's a good question. We have one guy, Cem, who drove for Formula 2. But he was coming from sim racing, and then to GT, like the European Touring, and then Formula 3, Formula 2. But it's so much costly.
It's the money,
Exactly.
right? Because I would imagine
Always the money.
a Turkish Formula One driver will quite possibly be the fastest driver on the
Well,
grid.
he was quite good, by the way. I suggest you to watch his Formula 3 races.
I would do. You can imagine, you just put the helmet on, sit on the grid in your McLaren, and you just go, right, I'm back in Istanbul. And every Verstappen and everyone else around me is other people going for the next set of traffic lights. He will win.
He's racing for Le Mans this year, and then next year I think he's going to Indy.
Is he
Yeah,
really?
It's a shame if you got to Formula One, you might get the Formula One Grand Prix back here in
Yeah,
Istanbul.
back in.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, amazing. It would be amazing. I mean, would you like to see the underbody of the car, or?
Yeah, let's have a
not?
look.
Yeah,
Let's
of
have a
course.
look.
Because we put one to the left for you guys.
We do like the engineering
Yeah.
of these cars. I like this workshop. This is very good, and it's a privilege to be here.
Yeah.
This is the home of Turkish motorsport.
Exactly. This is the garage of the Ford Motorsport team.
Oh, look, so buggy. So these are being restored right now?
it is. This one is being restored, and this will be restored. Now your expertise.
Yeah, so
So Triumph.
Triumph suspension, ladder type chassis.
Yeah, it's a cross chassis.
I mean, they're big old chunky chassis, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then your body's stuck on top. So the difference between the two is that they've just hacked off the back end of effectively,
Yeah.
haven't they, and shortened
Yeah.
the buggy chassis. So they're all based on the concept at the starting point, and then you just, as it grows upwards, you changes what
It's got
it looks.
it's got a rear diff that looks like it's a biscuit tin. It's got the small. I know it's a Ford, but it's the smallest little rear diff.
Exactly.
And this one's got leaf suspension. That
suspension.
one's got a sort of coilover
yeah.
strut on the back.
And then double wishbone in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's all amazing, and the fact that you can buy a vehicle that doesn't rust. Only rust on the chassis, but it won't rust on the body. Is brilliant.
It's just great. They're so basic and simple, and it gives you the freedom as a designer and a manufacturer to change. So many different options based on the same starting point.
Disc brakes up front.
Oh, yeah.
It sort of gives us an idea that maybe in a future episode of Wheeler Dealers,
Maybe.
it would be quite nice to feature an Anadol.
Yeah, no?
You never know.
Yes.
You can even work from here, no? Like you can use this as a body shop.
Exactly. What we need is a friendly workshop and somebody who knows their way around the Anadol car market.
Yeah, no, 100%. As I was saying, this is the Ford Motorsport team's shop. So there's a really interesting, you know, the Ford Transit vans. They're all produced in Turkey.
Yeah.
So they commissioned their rally van, which I think would be interesting for you. I mean, it's a rally car, but it's a van. Basically.
So it turned a van into a rally car.
Exactly.
I love it
Before
already.
Can we just stop just for a second at what is quite possibly the best car in here?
That is amazing, yeah.
This is the Escort Cosworth. I've done my very first car with Antanstead in America. Was the Escort Cosworth. Frank Stephenson, the famous designer, did the rear end.
Yeah.
And this car should have been put into the market with a third spoiler, of which Frank done for us on the TV program. But this is like a dream for me. I would love to own one of these.
Yeah.
I really would.
It's an amazing bit of
It's
kit.
one of the first cars, I think. There is no air condition. There is, I mean, it's...
Oh, it's one of the first that they produced?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
It's lovely. I really like it.
What a bit of kit.
How much would you pay for it, Mike?
You know, somewhere in the world today, that could be valued anywhere between sort of 25 and 50,000 pounds. It's you know, it's as broad as it's long. I will say at the time, I don't know when this video is going out. At the moment, the fast forward market has been climbing. But at the moment, it's collapsed a little bit. The fast forward market. There's an overstock issue at the moment. There's too many cars in the marketplace and not enough money going around to buy them. But yeah, very interesting car to own. These aren't so interesting.
No.
That is electric.
What do you think about the electric?
Well, it's such a shame that we started off down there with that, and this is where it's come to.
Yeah, it's come to this.
What's going on with the world?
It's, you know, we have to face it. We both had electric cars. We understand it is part of our future.
Yeah.
We are being forced by our governments to be more environmentally friendly. That's in the UK. And then when we arrive into Istanbul and Turkey, nobody here seems to care.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was going to ask you, but are we saving the planet? I don't know.
I don't think you are here in this country, but we're definitely trying. That little country over the water is definitely trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
But I think we're finding it quite hard because
There's the Pekin-Paris.
Yeah, this is the Pekin-Paris car that finished it this year.
Amazing.
And then, as you see, the cameras are all set. I'm going to give you the key and let you enjoy.
Okay.
In Istanbul traffic.
so I get to drive it 5 miles an hour
exactly.
in Istanbul traffic. So I'm used to seeing stuff like this. I presented the Rally Championships for many years, little STs.
Look at that.
That is amazing. Yeah. So this is the Transit that was made exclusively in Turkey.
Yeah, but the whole world, I mean, drives. It's all made in Turkey. All the
transits,
in the world. Yeah.
Back, you know, in when I was working still in Formula One, they made a fiberglass Transit body with a Formula One engine in it,
Cosworth,
and they demonstrated it at tracks, and it was a V10. It was amazing.
Yeah, they
sounded
still got it.
great.
They still bring it out at Goodwood and places like that.
Yeah.
This one has a 3-liter turbo engine producing around 400 horsepower.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a normal body, isn't it? It's got the full roll cage in it. I can see.
I mean, we can open it up. So
look at that carbon fibre interior.
I gather that this was just sort of, you know, Ford having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And saying to the Ford Rally team, there's a Transit, there's an engine, there's some other bits and pieces. Yeah,
make something out of it.
Make something, go and have some fun.
Yeah. It has all the short
Fantastic.
ratio, gearbox, everything.
I wish manufacturers did more of that where they just assign some budget to just go crazy and do something wild with a car.
Well, that's where you end up. See, you end up with interesting cars because some engineers at Volkswagen took the little Volkswagen Golf, and the engineers worked overtime just with a little bit of budget that they got off the managers, and they come up with a Golf GTI. And then BMW, there was the BMW 3 Series, and there was people that wanted the M Sport division, the motorsport division of BMW. Started to go, well, actually, if we widen the arches and did this, and they did it all in their spare time, all off their own back. And you end up with the BMW E30 M3.
And look what it does for the brand. Audi. Yeah, look what it does for the brand.
Exactly.
So it's quite short-sighted when you sort of think about constantly just being efficient all the time. if you just allow a little bit of budget to give a bit of freedom, a bit of creativity, a bit of excitement, yeah, it's a short-term cost, but look at what it's done for BMW with that whole M Sport range, for example.
Look what it's done for Audi, look what it's done for Mercedes, look what it's done for Volkswagen, and of course, look what it's done for Ford.
Well, the whole fast forward movement's been transformational.
Exactly. Did you see that wing over there?
I know.
A lot of downforce, no?
I would imagine it's there for a reason, to keep the van down on the ground. But it's a fascinating place and a real privilege to be shown around a place like this.
So, shall I give you the keys?
You want us to get in this car?
If you want, if you don't want.
Well, no, let's. I don't even know if I can fit in the car first. I mean, is the car capable of holding this? I mean, I could definitely probably fit in the passenger seat, but could I fit in the driver's seat?
I've been in it.
Yeah, but look at you. You're like a racing snake.
Well, do you want to sit? Do you want to go this side?
Everybody, look over there. There's something really interesting. I'm good.
Yeah.
But I have lost weight.
Happy?
Give me the keys. Let's go.
Oops.
Yeah. Okay, guys, enjoy.
Thank you.
See you in a couple of hours.
It's quite, you can feel it's fiberglass, can't you?
Yeah, it feels like it's going to rattle itself to bits. Everything's tight, isn't it? Every corner's tight, every street's tight. The door's not closed.
Where should we go? How do I do that?
Follow these cars.
Right, here we go. So we're in a STC and we've come straight out into the traffic jam. Welcome to Istanbul, everybody. But we are driving a proper little car that's just competed in the Pekin-Paris rally.
It's a little bit of history.
It's a little bit of history, and it actually feels good. The car, the engine feels strong. I'm going to let these cars get away in front of me because that Porsche doesn't look right, does it? No. I don't think a Porsche Cayenne should be pumping that much smoke out of it. Now there's a truck reversing. Nothing behind me for a second.
It's kind of chaos, the streets of Istanbul.
You could do a few thousand kilometres in this doing the Pekin-Paris.
I'd love to do that race.
How cool would that be?
I'd love to do that race. You want adventure with me? I mean, a proper test of a car as well, isn't it? It's a test of the people driving it. It's a massive test of the car, and this little old car from way back in the 1970s or 80s did it.
I could quite happily do the rally in this. It'd be wonderful.
All the kit in it.
But they lined up a jump for us on the way back. So what we do is we get up here, turn around, and we try it. Very entertaining. Right, so I've got an idea.
A bloke with a full stack of tyres on the back of a moped.
I've got an idea. Right, we need to come back to Turkey. This is my idea. We need to come back here. Not only do we need to come back here, we need to do one of these Anadol's.
Yeah, of course we do. What else would you do?
And not only do we need to do one of these Anadol's, we need to do one of these Anadol's that's got damage to the fiberglass, so we do a nice fiberglass.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Well, it's one of the unique things about this car, isn't it? So, yeah.
How could you not do a fiberglass repair?
It's actually, one of these is perfect for one of our episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
So, it's quite basic underneath, but you're right, it's got this fiberglass body that you cannot get another one off. So you have to fix it, you have to repair it if it's got some damage.
And I could run around getting some full parts and TR4 parts.
It's right up our street.
It is right up our street.
I could even make some bits of suspension and stuff, you know what I mean?
Could you convert an A1 to coilovers instead of springs, instead of leaf springs?
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could maybe modernise one. Fix the bits that weren't so good, perhaps.
Sorry, by the way, to Turkey population.
I still keep looking at that engine bay, thinking there's definitely enough space for something way bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they were a lot of Ford parts, a whole range of Ford engines. I haven't seen one with a Cosy in there yet.
He just wants to put a turbo on one, that's all he wants to do. The turbo one of these will actually be quite wicked, won't it?
It would.
Oh, that was brilliant.
I mean, it's the least amount of traffic we've actually had since we've been here.
Yes. This is the quiet period of the day as well, ladies and gentlemen. What a country. How does it function, this country? I don't know. It's like it's not fuzzy logic, is it? It's chaos.
It's beautiful chaos.
It is beautiful. Everyone seems to just get somewhere, but I don't know how.
It's almost like these traffic junctions, there's no rules and everyone just figures it out. They're not getting out their cars and having punch-ups and, you know, they're just figuring it out.
I'm saying that, the guy is waving his fist at me.
Is he?
Oh,
that must happen a lot to you, though.
Yeah, I've got my haters even here. Look, the staff, it's so funny. So we are filming this for some content for this YouTuber, but we have Discovery staff with us that look after us, and they're panicking.
They are
because
terrified.
They're terrified that we've got lost in Turkey, and the car's now got a little bit of heat. So I don't know which one of these is a fan.
Well, nice one, mate. Well done. That was a good experience.
That was fantastic. That is my very first drive ever of an Anadol, and it's one that I'll remember forever.
Thank you.
How was it?
Yes, it was very entertaining.
Okay.
That was a great
as
experience.
predicted, we did not get up to any kind of rally speeds.
Okay.
We drove out of here into chaos, basically, which is what you get in Istanbul. But we did get to go into second gear.
Okay,
We experienced what second gear can feel like.
That's the most we've done all week since we've been here.
Correct. Yes. But we did experience what it could be like to sit in that car for maybe 3,000 kilometres doing the Pekin to Pekin to Paris, and we feel that we could do it.
Yeah?
I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it. It says a lot about that car that it managed to complete that distance in those conditions and everything else. From a car of that age, that simplicity, and yet it did it. It's pretty impressive.
It is impressive. We really enjoyed it.
So thank you.
Our first drive ever of an Anadol, but not our last.
Perfect. That's a sign.
Possibly. It could be a sign from the gods of wheeler dealers.
You might have heard it here first.
Perfect. Guys, thank you so much for coming.
Do you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure. Not only to meet you, but to be a part of this and to have the privilege of walking around here and seeing the car.
Thank you so much.
We really do appreciate it.
Okay. Hope to see you soon in Turkey with Anadol.
You will.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Hoşça kalın DMAX.